This book is a Bildungsroman. God has finally catch me. So I'm always typing this thing, and I said that I'm getting away with typing it because I don't know how to pronounce it and I'm not speaking. But now look at it now. Have I not been caught? I've been caught. So hi, today the book I'll be reviewing is Born on a Tuesday by Elnathan John, and it's a Bildungsroman. Anyways, yeah, so it follows a titular character called Dansala. Now, there's something I need to explain to you guys. Yeah, in the Hausa culture, certain people are named after particular days of the week. So if you're born on a certain day, they call you that name. So for Dantala, we see, their names like Danladi. I used to think Danladi meant born on a Monday, but I mentioned it somewhere and someone said I was wrong, that I was born on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday. But I did not confirm that information, and I'm very sorry. But what I know for sure is Dantala means born on a Tuesday. So that's how we meet this our young character. So he's an Almajiri. This is one of the reasons why I really love this book. So as someone who has seen Almajiris in the society, I always wonder there has to be more to you guys than what I see. And it's a very, now why I say this is very sad because I remember when I was in secondary school and I was using the school bus then. So it was during this Salah time, not Salah, during this fasting time where Muslims give alms. And then my bus driver, obviously he was not very well to do if he's a bus driver. He gave a group of, I think 3, 4, or 5 children, I can't remember their number now. I think, was it 20 naira or 50 naira? But it was not up to 100 naira. And they were so happy, you guys. It felt like someone had given them a whole lot of money, and I did not understand why they felt that excited, because I was calculating in my head how much it would take for me to be that excited over money, and I realized like, oh, we live very different lives. They were so excited, and I felt a form of pity because this is their reality, and the reason why they are celebrating this is because God knows when last they got something like this. So I used to write poems about them. I can't remember where they are, by the way, but I think I wrote 2. I used to really feel like these are people we should shine the light on, talk about. And when I read Born on a Tuesday, I was like, oh wow, this is what I have been looking for. Now I want more stories, right? I want more stories on them because, as much as Born on a Tuesday is out there, there are still other stories. Dantala is not the only Almajiri you can write about. Do you understand? So Dantala, we're introduced to his character, and you see that amidst violence, like in the midst of violence, Dantala just is not cut out for it, and so he decides like, oh, this life is no longer for him. But he has such a unique character that he is beloved by the head of the gang. And when the head of the gang falls into a particular situation, because I'm trying not to give spoilers, he gives Dantala some money, like, this is all the money I have, I'm going to entrust it to you. And so Dantala travels, and for the book introduces you to shocking things immediately, but perhaps one of the most shocking things is what happens when a person dies, how you are thought to shrug it off, like life is life goes on. I don't know how I would feel if I was in Dantala's shoes when he was traveling and that incident happened. I don't know. I really don't know. And we also see how, despite the fact that some people are destitute, some people still steal from the destitute. I often wonder why, because it's not like I think stealing is forgivable, right? But why would you steal from a widow? Why would you steal from an Almajiri? Why I'm saying this is I've seen people defraud widows. They know they are widows, and you still go ahead and defraud them, and you know that these are poor widows, not even wealthy widows. So when I saw this play out here, I was like, well, people just don't really care. They just take advantage of people they can take advantage of. They don't care where or what happened to them. That's not their business. And why this is a big cross roman is because it followed Dantala from when he was a young boy to when he grows up. And most importantly, I think one of the things this book discusses is the rise of Boko Haram. Now there's a man, his name is Malam Abdul Noor. I don't know if that's his real name in life. So he had certain teachings, and the teachings were not aligning with the teachings of the Quran, which is why I say it is very important we do not deify our religious leaders. This is from the Muslim perspective, do you understand? So he was being deified because he had so much charisma. He was You know, there's some people that when they speak to you, you do not want them to stop speaking. He was that kind of person. So when this thing was happening, the person that was Dantala's mentor, taking care of Dantala, he was against it. He was speaking against it and all that. But this man had already gained a stronghold on some people already. They had a society where if you committed certain crimes, they would cut your hands, and then he was telling people to burn their certificates. He went to school, which is why it's very important. That's why I say this is a very important part of the book. So he was educated. He was not an Almajiri. Almajiris do not have the opportunity to go to school. He went to school. He didn't even school in Nigeria only. He schooled abroad. Do you understand? So he did go to school, and then he told people to burn their certificates, and people, educated people, were burning their certificates. They set fire to them. It was worthless. And this is how this small movement spread, and it became what it is today. So why I'm saying this is because many people tend to classify our martyrs as members, but the truth is we should try to make distinction. Not every Almajiri is a member. Yes, there may be some that would be members, but it is not necessarily because that's who they are, that's why they are there. You understand? I had to make that clarification. I think Elnathan John's writing is a very remarkable thing. I don't know whether I said it on okay, yes, so I hosted him on a space this year, and I said that I wonder how you're able to balance so much comedy and being serious at the other hand, because if you read Becoming Nigeria, you see it's a very satirical book, and then you read Born on a Tuesday, there is no humor. Like, I know that there are some parts that are humor, like a Yoruba man is a Yoruba man, even if he becomes a Muslim. It's so funny, you know, but you're just thrown into dark times so quick that you don't even have enough time to give your laughter fully. The way this story ends, it's very devastating. I mean, it already starts in the heartbreaking way, so you're like, how would this story play out? How is it going to end? And when it ends, there is this sense of unbelief that washes over you, because you realize that the only thing distinguishing you from Dantala was just pure chance. You had, like, Dantala suffered so much. His mother, she suffered so much. I remember reading where his mother, I'm just going to have to say this, I apologize, this is a spoiler, where two of his twin sisters were swept away in a flood, and his mother just lost her mind. I used to think, like, how did she feel? How, like, there's this sort of desolation, yes, that falls on the person, that they have no other choice than to, they cannot just cope with the state of desolation they're in, and so they lose hold of their faculties. It's a very sad thing. Natala went through a lot for him, and despite the fact that he went through a lot, he still had the kind of ending. The book still ended that way, and which is why I really love the introduction. Like, the first page, it said, "These are for the girls and boys, something about stars without a name." When you read the book, you understand the depth of that statement, because we just see these children, we don't really count them, and it seems like they're nameless, like they don't matter, but they do. Anyway, that's all for me for today. Bye. See you in my next video.